welcome again to our YouTube channel, Soaring Together. If you're new to our channel, we're going to run the intro so you'll know a little more about us. But first we want to tell you about today's video. We have had our Freightliner M2 truck now for 2 years. So we just wanted to do a recap of the truck. I know some of you out there may be thinking about getting a larger truck to pull your larger fifth wheel with. And some of you have larger trucks than we do, but right now we have the 2007 Freightliner M2 106, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So after the intro, we'll be right back. We are Ricky and Denise. We sold everything in 2020 and hit the road to RV full time. We travel in our Freightliner M2 truck, pulling our DRV JX 450 full house that hauls our 2020 Harley Tri-Glide. We invite you to travel along with us as we are soaring together. Some of our subscribers, or even if you just happened upon this video because you were looking or surfing for information on Freightliner M2 trucks, I'll just ask Ricky some questions that you all may have. How long have we had our truck?
Well, you just told them we've had it for 2 years, but actually we've had it a little longer than 2 years.
I did tell him that, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just repeated myself. Why did you want to purchase the mid-size truck, mid-duty truck?
For several reasons. One, I like the turning radius. Most especially the 106. Got an air ride cab, air ride seats, bigger tires, bigger brakes. Horsepower wise, you know, some of the dualies have quite a bit more horsepower than what we've got. I would like to have had a 112 now that I know what I know, but we did put an air ride hitch on it, and after we got the DRV.
So we've done quite a few things to it, so let's talk about some of those cosmetic things, we would call it. We did do the, what type of hitch?
ET. I wouldn't call that cosmetic.
Well, it's not pertaining to the motor is what I'm saying. It's not mechanical. We got the ET hitch because it will pull a heavier load.
And it is an air suspension hitch.
Okay, and then some other cosmetic things that we had. We changed the stripes on the truck to match our new full house, and we had that done in Corpus Christi at Neely's Printing and More. This morning Iron Horse is going to get a facelift. We're taking Iron Horse over to Corpus Christi to Neely's Printing and More, and they're going to restripe it to match the colors of our new DRV.
Neely's Printing and More. And
we're very satisfied, and
yes.
And we've had it a year now and no major issues with it.
No, you know, I mean, they bought it out to lead pencil on some of the ends, and you know, the little fine points, you know, I've had to just trim a few.
We've had a few we've trimmed off,
but nothing major.
So we've been very satisfied with that.
We replaced what Sport Chassis had already put on the running boards with some trucks, dual purpose lights. Yes, you can get them in several different colors, but being our rig is, you know, blue and black, I chose the blue. You have to, the only difference is it's than what it originally comes on it. There is one more wire that is the hot wire for the blue. They use the same bulbs, but when you have to put a switch, I chose to put a toggle switch in.
And you got those lights from where?
Rainey's. We put some on the side that I got from, I think it was Big Truck in Wisconsin.
Yeah. And then just some other things that weren't necessarily cosmetic, but we needed it to make everything operate correctly, was when we purchased the DRV Full House, we have the cameras on the trailer, and the wiring on the truck had to be upgraded to make all the cameras work.
Well, the truck came with a Voyager wire to run the cameras, which would be through the radio on the dash with a backup, well, not a backup camera, but a camera that chimes in on the bed for the hitch. The new DRV, I chose to get the side lights, side cameras, and it came with a 7-inch monitor, but rolling retreats is only about 40 plus miles from Sport Chassis there in Clinton. So we went up there, and of course DRV supplied the wire and all, but we had to have a second one due to the fact that you can only run 2 in each set of wires. So I have to have 2 hooked to the trailer and 2 hooked to the truck, so we had to have another one put on.
We rode up to Sport Chassis, to the factory, took a tour of the factory, and also had them hook up our cameras, the wiring in the truck for the cameras to our new trailer. So Ricky's really excited. Today's his birthday, and he got all of his cameras hooked up.
I asked the Lord this morning, I said, Lord, give us favor, because, you know, I hate to admit it, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I drove a truck for a while. We didn't have cameras. You know, people say you don't need cameras, true. But the camera that I was really interested in was the one on the back of the camper, and just getting it working. I didn't necessarily have to have the ones on the side, and thankfully it all works through our radio. They did send a larger monitor that came with it, but that way I'd have had something else sitting on the dash. This way it's all clean in the dash, and all I have to do is change the input on it, which is really easy.
Yeah, and we use the trucker GPS for our navigation, so we don't need the navigation on the screen anyway, so we'll be able to still use the radio with the flip of the button, or use the cameras. So
well, we don't even have to flip the button to use the radio, but we can. If we need to see the radio screen, all we have to do is cut that off. But there again was, and I can't say it enough, they were more than accommodating to see that our needs were met today, and very thankful that they could do it. Obviously it wasn't free, but nothing in life right now is free other than Jesus Christ, and he paid the price for that.
So now we'll talk about some other repairs that we have made. Simple things. You replaced some airbags, some shocks. We've had some brake work done, and for some reason we took it to some Freightliner dealers. We've taken it to another mechanic, and for some reason we were still having an issue with the right front brake sticking. Was it the right front?
No, ma'am. What's the left front brake?
The left front brake. Right, if you're facing the truck. Okay. The driver's side brake was still wanting to stick, and we just could not get to the bottom of the issue. So after what all did you do to it?
Well, I put a new caliper on that side. Had new rotors put on it, and I don't know, for a long time it seemed like the new caliper, you know, that's what it was. And then we were I laugh now. It wasn't funny then, but we come off of Wolf Creek Pass, which if you've been there, it's very steep.
In Colorado.
In Colorado, and anyway, it started trying to stick again. So it'd go to stick. The front ends a whiling, and they say Denise wasn't a happy camper, and I wasn't a real happy camper. But thanks good Lord, we got over that. But I've had trouble with it ever since with that particular. So I took it to a place here in
which is they specialize in
they
brakes.
specialize in brakes in Corpus, and they found. I thought maybe it was the rubber lines. The things. 113, 22, 7.
And that was called Rubens Brake Repair.
Yeah, Rubens Truck Service or something. Anyway, I had, my son, youngest son, helped me replace the one on that side. And I bought the one for the other side anyway, the rubber hose. So they replaced that, but they found a metal line that was on the inside that was kinked. And just the way it acted, if you got on the brakes real hard, it seemed like that the fluid couldn't return quick enough for them not to stick. So I'm just believing that got it fixed. But I'd already put another new caliper on that side. It shouldn't have been bad, and I don't think it was. But so we replaced 3 calipers and put new pads on, obviously on both sides on the back, and so we've pretty much got a complete brake job on it now.
And hopefully that brake won't stick anymore. And then another major thing that we had was last October, we had the turbo go out.
Go down. I mean,
those have to be replaced generally after so many 100,000 miles anyway.
That it just happens, and it's mechanical. They're not made to run forever, so we put a new turbo on it.
And then recently, last year in South Dakota, we had the air conditioner was not cooling, and he had put in Freon a couple times, and then it still wasn't holding the Freon, so he took it to the Freightliner dealer there in South Dakota.
Floyd's Freightliner.
And what did they do there?
They put a new condenser coil on.
So then we're here in Aransas Pass in the Gulf of Texas, and a couple hot days that we were out in the truck, it seemed like it wasn't cooling again, so he put some Freon in, and it didn't hold the Freon. So he took it back to the Freightliner dealer here in Corpus.
I took it to the Freightliner.
To the Freightliner dealer here in Corpus Christi. And they discovered that a weld had broken in the part that they had replaced in South Dakota.
That's what it appeared to be. It was very difficult. I will give the mechanic kudos, and even the service guy. When you put the dye in, sometimes it takes a while, but it was dried Freon in this one particular place. They use a lot and all, and they decided that that's what it was. So I had 1 year on the part. They replaced that, and they also covered the
warranted the labor
on it as well. So that's the guy. Nice guys, super nice guys at here at Corpus Freightliner. And I asked him, what I owed him, and he said, all you owe me today is a signature. So I think, let's say that I was very pleased with that. But
that it was still under warranty for that year.
Yeah.
So one of
maybe I can keep Mama cool now.
One of the other things that we had to go bad was the EGR valve.
Yeah, the EGR valve. Right after we first got it, we had to have it put on. Also had some brake work done at that time. They put new rotors on the front.
So we got that EGR valve fixed. And we headed, this was when we first hit the road 2 years ago. And we headed to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Made it fine on the trip. And then...
well, I just opened up I should have checked it. It's my bad. I should have checked it more before we left. But, sometimes I just get out and walk around and look at things and just happen to note some bolts and screws and some hose clamps not where they should be. Like I said in the wiring video, I'm not a mechanic, but I have a little knowledge. So, there again, we took it to the Freightliner there in
New Mexico.
New Mexico. And they happen to be, I won't mention the name of the company, but they happen to be a sister company. They're the one that I took it to in Kentucky. And anyway.
They warranted all that work.
They warranted that work and put that back together. And, thankfully, all that's still good. I mean, it's just things are going to happen. You run them down these roads and bang around and, they're wear parts. And I hadn't had the oil. I mean, I had just, not too many thousand miles, changed the oil.
And you do all that work yourself.
I do that. But
we have, my brother in Tennessee has a garage that we go to.
Yeah. But when I had the turbo put on, some said, occasionally, shavings get in there and all. So the guy said, well, it couldn't hurt anything. So, which is obvious. So I just went ahead and had the oil changed there at Little Rock when they put the turbo on. So.
But you said a couple mechanics have looked at the truck and they say the motor sounds great. And what motor do we have? We have the Mercedes, right?
Yes, we have the Mercedes. Some people cuss the Mercedes. Some people love the Mercedes. Just like anything else, That's why they got red, blue, green, white, purple colored vehicles. That's why you got Ford, Chevrolet. It's just, anything. I don't care what it is. Sometimes you're just going to have issues with it. That's just like RVs. There's going to be it's not when it's going to break down, not if it's going to break down, it's when it's going to break down. So you don't like to be broke down, most especially on the highway. And if you followed us, you know that we have been towed twice. And on that note, that's something else that we bought, Cosmetic, and have been very pleased with them.
Yeah, they've towed us.
They've towed us twice, truck and trailer, and one time the truck by itself, because one shop, they do kind of choose where you go, but with the Mercedes, most of the time, it is to a Freightliner dealer, because a lot of shops won't fool with the Mercedes.
But we've been very pleased with Cosmetic.
Been very pleased with Cosmetic.
And I think we pay $159 a year.
$60 a year. And the two times that it's pulled it, it's probably paid for a lifetime of record bills.
Right.
And they're concerned about you. One of the first questions they ask is, are you in a safe place? And they will call the we had the highway patrol to come by and check on us, to just make sure we were, they're concerned about your safety. So that's worth a whole lot. And
another thing, I mean, we would have this if we had a Ford or a Chevrolet,
Yeah,
or
it doesn't matter.
is new tires. We've put new tires on, so we got all new tires on the truck, so we should be good to go for as long as we want to full time.
Probably, unless we have a blowout or something like that. Most of these tires don't, in RVing, don't wear out. They,
Right.
well, some do. The ones that I took off, they didn't show any sign of that. It's just date-wise, and
They were 8 years old.
yeah, depends on who you talk to and how many years. Some people won't go over 5, some people won't go over 10. Just about any major company, from what I can see, no more than 10. Even if it does, look good, UV rays is, what's it cause them to crack and all. So if you keep them up and keep them in the shop and all that, I don't even know that's, but regardless, most especially drive tires, we put new drive tires on, and then the last time we were home, the time before last time we were home, we put, I said drive, excuse me, we put new steer tires on. We put new drive tires on this time. I don't know if it's a man thing or whatever. I would like to have more horsepower. Obviously, we don't go up a mountain all the time, so anywhere else, I've got more than enough. So, like the way the truck sets up. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I like the way a sport chassis looks, or the 4-door Freightliner. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sport chassis. They got Summit hauler and different ones, and I like those as well. I like the 4-door truck. I call it our grocery getter. I mean, we have this and we have the trike. So if even if it is a warm day, unless we're just going to get a few things, we go in the truck, because you got the back door and the back seat, and even when we're on the road, since it's only the two of us, we got the back seat and floorboard and everything else filled up with stuff. But most everything has just been wear, and did have. They're like a relay. I don't know exactly what to call them, and that's the reason I don't like to mention things, and I should know. But there's 2 on the truck. The truck runs on the 60 system, and there's 2 of these relays or whatever on the truck. And if you saw those videos, that's what went out, and we had a hard time finding one. One on these trucks, one's on the dash, and one is the one obviously was out on mine, was down at the transmission. So Brent found that, and
so those were just some electrical issues that we had, and we have videos of that, where the truck just shut down. We were just driving along, and it just shut down.
That's part of the system that that makes a whole. You'd think it 30 amp fuse or 60, whatever these are. Couldn't shut the whole rig down, but it does. So you live and learn, and.
So if you are in the market for another vehicle, a larger vehicle to tow your fifth wheel trailer with, of course we have this one. We like it. Some people would rather go bigger. We've thought about going bigger.
We have
different options, different.
I'll say this right now: if you've looked at any kind of truck sales, they're $30,000 to $40,000 more currently right now than they were this time last year. Well, from my perspective of it, not a real good time to buy one. I mean, I could sell mine and make money on it, but
even with everything that we've been out with the repairs that we've made,
yeah, we could
still come out ahead.
Yes.
for the price that they're selling for today.
Yeah, but you know, it's like anything else. And if I was going to completely get out, yeah, that'd be a good time to do it. But you know, we don't plan on getting out right now. So, you know, I don't look like I used to. Probably, and if anybody knows me, we probably missed a very good deal.
On an HDT.
On an HDT. It was set up completely. I mean, it was ready to go. All I'd had to do was back up and hook up and drive off. You know, he also had a smart car to go along with it. So with a smart car and the truck, you know, and the trike, you know, trailer, we would have. But currently we're bumping down the road in an MDT. I like to hang out with HDTers.
If they'll have us.
Yeah. You know, but looking forward to seeing a lot, you know, between the East Coast and...
We've met a lot of friends in the
Yes.
HDT world,
Yes.
so we're excited to meet up with them at the rallies this year.
Yeah. East, West, and the National. As well.
So we hope we've answered some questions for you who may be looking for a larger truck. We like ours so far.
Another thing that I didn't say, I like sitting up higher. I mean, most vehicles, obviously, unless it's a tractor trailer, you can't, you know, you can see over a car. You can see over most pickups. So, you know, your visibility is better. We're, you know, we're a little lower than a full tractor. Not a whole lot, but of course, then again, a lot of people don't like them. They don't want to have to climb them up in and out of them. So far.
But we've got a lot of handles to pull ourselves up. So in our old age, we should still be able to do it. So just hope that you will, again, like and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss Ricky and I as we're soaring together.
And she's going to cut about half of this out.
I may not cut any of this one out. I may just put it on there and let it roll.